Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your mental health doctor here to give you a checkup and make sure that everything's going okay inside here. This is the most precious piece of equipment that you have, folks, and you really need to be careful with what you put into it. And there's a lot of stuff nowadays that are really interfering with people's perception of themselves. And it's really, honestly, it's really harmful and it's appalling to see. As we all know, there's basically no regulation of people's behavior on the internet. So there's these TikTok stars out there that are editing themselves to look like children. And this is, of course, not the first time that this has happened. And it's honestly extremely disturbing. We already know that over the last 10 years, rates of depression and anxiety have been skyrocketing because of social media, essentially, and the internet. We have all these apps nowadays like Snapchat and Instagram where people put out their best version of themselves. They put out this super nice photo, but in reality, they're on a beach somewhere. You can see I'm on my virtual beach back here. But in reality, life is not all beach and water and sun. We have rainy days, and it's normal for mood to fluctuate throughout the day. It's normal for mood to fluctuate over periods of time. There's this complex balance going on inside your head of neurotransmitters and electricity, and that affects how you feel during the day. It's affected by what you eat. It's affected by your physical activity level. It's affected by your thoughts, guys. There's research that has shown this. Your thoughts and the decisions that you make every day affect how you feel. And that's really what I try to remind myself of in my practice is a lot of us, and myself included, to fall into these negative thought patterns. And we either beat ourselves up and ruminate on something, or we're not happy that we don't have something in our life, or we're not dating the person that we want. All of those feelings or all of those thoughts can cause negative feeling. We can sit there and ruminate on all these things and end up depressed because that's all we're thinking about. We're thinking about life as all gray and droopy. And as far as Instagram and Snapchat go, it's like you sit there and you compare yourself. So it's very similar to a ruminative thought. You compare yourself. Ignore this ad here in the back. Okay, I'm not even monetized yet. But in Snapchat and Instagram, you're comparing. The ruminative thought is, my life isn't like this. Like Kim Kardashian has a private birthday parties during COVID on an island, and everybody gets sick. But I wish I could be that cool, and I wish I had that much money. That affects our mental health. It affects our self-perception. It affects our daily mood. All that stuff plays a role. And now we have these TikTokers that are posting videos of themselves and altering it. This has been, of course, going on since Snapchat and Instagram came out. But now it's being taken to an extreme where, the person can't even be, you could hardly tell. You could really hardly tell that these two people are related. And it's just, I know that this person doesn't intend it this way. She likely has no psychological insight into what trend she's possibly starting and the effect that she's having on other women. But essentially that is the prime category for this sort of harm. It's actually women. Women psychologically tend to internalize negative emotions. And of course, men can do it too. I have done it. I've done that. When I was much younger, I would compare myself to people on Instagram. But now, especially given my specialty in psychiatry, I'm hyper aware of that. I'm hyper aware of it now because I know that every like 5 minutes I'm spending on an application, my mental health is deteriorating. I'm getting sadder. I'm comparing myself to someone else. But honestly, now that I'm aware of it and I know that it's an issue, and so many people and so much research has come out about this now, it's much easier to avoid. But I really fear for young women, especially. Most of the client population that I've seen up until this point is women, and there's of course differences, and like major depressive disorder is diagnosed, like I think it's 3-to-1 was the last statistic that was put in the DSM. And so you've got this woman out here that's making herself look much younger than she is. Not only is she a spicy content creator, I can't even say some of these words because I know that I'm gonna get striked for it. But she's posting lewd photographs of herself online and altering her image in such a way that she looks a lot younger than what she actually is. And of course, this is a fetish. There are a lot of people out there. It's actually, I think it was a TED Talk I watched, that it's actually normal. It's pretty normal to have some sort of odd fantasy. I have to really be careful with my words here. Jesus. It's actually quite normal to have a strange fantasy about this specific. Just look up paraphilias. How common are paraphilias? I don't want to be biased here. I believe that there's two sides to this. On one hand, her actions and the filters that she's using are really blurring the lines between what's appropriate, what's fraud. I mean, I don't know that she's committing fraud. So I did some research on this, and impersonating a minor or someone else is actually illegal depending on the state that you're in. But she's creating a false persona. I mean, she's using her own photographs and altering her own photographs. So she's not exactly impersonating anybody else and putting out content that could be considered underage blank. It's like, do you blame the creator or do you blame the people that are enabling this? I'm a firm believer in markets, and this woman is supplying the market with something that there is demand for. Is she possibly damaging people's mental health? Is she potentiating criminality? Yeah, most likely. There's a reason why there's 10,000 people signing up for that. This is a crazy world we live in, isn't it?